Well, good Monday evening to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy, bringing you that update on Bitcoin you've been waiting on. Sorry, it's a little late tonight. Got some big winter weather coming into Texas, and we're not used to it. The animals aren't used to it, so I'm starting my winterizing, getting everything ready to go. But we're going to talk about Bitcoin tonight. What a ride we've had. Sunday was absolutely horrible. Scared to death. I told you guys last night I didn't think it was as bad as it seemed. And that kind of seems to be the way it's playing out. It's kind of been slow today, kind of looking for a floor. New York markets were closed today, so it's expected to be slow. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. I would expect some volatility. We've got all that tariff talk that's gone on, and New York markets haven't had a chance to react to it. So it's going to be really interesting what goes on tomorrow, but we're going to try to get ahead of it, figure it out in the charts. We're going to start off with that hourly chart to get you through tomorrow. And then I'll do the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly. I'll give you some middle and long range targets, and we'll kind of figure out exactly what happens from here. But we'll start off with the crypto fear and greed index, just like we do every single night. Currently at a 51. This measures market sentiment. It tells us if people are scared or if they're greedy, what's going on. Right now, people are at neutral. We dropped back into fear yesterday, but I use this to make spot purchases. I bought a little more. I got about $550 in Solana, XRP, and Bitcoin right now. As we move up, I'll show those off, but we're going to hold on to them. We'll sell them off when they get into greed. When we get into extreme greed, we'll sell them out. It's a pretty strategy that's worked well for me. Moving on to a Bitcoin liquidation heat map. This is relevant because this is what market makers use to track your liquidity. You think the markets are manipulated? Well, that's exactly right, because market makers, all they do is go back and forth tracking your liquidation points of your short and long-term trades. Cumulative totals right now, we've got about $9.93 billion worth of shorts. That's came up about $2 or $3 billion overnight. And now we've got about $6.69 billion worth of long trades. There's still pockets of liquidity down here around 88,000 to about 85, 84,000. But we'll look at a weekly chart. That'll give us a better idea of where we're going from here. I think this bright pocket of liquidity is people that have taken a long off of this wick. Cumulative totals right now, we've got about 2.5 billion in shorts, down to about 1.03 billion in longs. So the balance is to the upside. You can see there's huge pockets of liquidity all the way up here from about 93.2 all the way up to about $99,000. I'm not sure if they're going after this. There's not a lot of liquidity left right below us, but the charts will break that down. We'll figure it out. I'm going to show you a little something real quick. I'm going to show off a little bit. We absolutely murdered it over the weekend in the crypto school. You'll find the link to that in my description. I give signals over there. We took some short trades on Friday, sat on them all weekend, and they finally paid off. SUI, 343%. XRP, 355%. AVAX, 369. This Bitcoin trade is still open. It hit $1,146 at $97,000. I've still got it open because I still think there's more upside. But if you need an exchange to trade on, Blowfin is absolutely incredible. First 300 users get a $10 voucher. Each new user gets VIP 1 for 30 days. You'll find a link in my description. And even if you're already a user, you can click on my link, get into these futures bonuses. $1,000 future bonus up to about $10,000. Good deal. I can go check it out. But we'll get into the charts. I do post all these charts in the crypto school as well. Like I said, I've been calling signals over there for about the past month, and we have absolutely printed. Struggled a little bit today trying to get a long entry, but I think we're solid now. We've got stopped out once or twice, moving stop losses to break even. It's all about capital preservation and risk management. I like to get those stop losses in as quick as I can. If I get stopped out, it's not a big deal. I just reopen the trade wherever it decides to bottom out. But let's get into the chart. Let's figure it out. We lost that 50 simple and smooth moving average yesterday and just absolutely dumped. It was ugly. Bottomed out here right at about 91,750. We've moved up. I think this is an end move. Usually these sweeps like that are indicative of a finished move. What we may do is we may test this trend line here at about 92,140. I've got two here, and you'll see why. It started to respect another trend. It moved off of this trend, which was the big macro trend. Now it's made another trend, and it's just trying to work its way up over them. If we can work up from here, 95.5 to 96.5 are your next targets. That's where the daily 50 smooth moving average sits. I told you we'd probably reject off of that yet last night or 2 nights ago. That's exactly what we did. Ultimately, I think we head up to about 99 to 101. The weekly 50 sits at about 101.468. That's our big line in the sand. The way it's setting up, we'll have some kind of rejection. I kind of figure we'll probably come back to the daily 50, but if we lose it and start losing these, I think we're headed to the bear market, guys. The macro trend here. This could come down to about 90,834. I would not rule it out. The daily 50 sits at about 89,677. Sometimes these things like to come down, bounce off, and then reclaim these trends. So we need to watch this really close. It's kind of in the middle, an undecided move. I hate trading in the middles, but I've kind of done it against my better judgment, but we'll see how it pans out. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see why I've taken longs and why I'm kind of bullish on this is we found support. We keep working up. This looks like a healthy retest to me from about $97,000. Nothing moves in straight lines, guys. We've got to come down. We're finding support right here along where we had these previous highs that we rejected off of resistance. We have flipped that into support. So hopefully we can hold it. It has bounced off the golden zone here at about 92,101. Like I said, it could come on down, retest about 90,000 to 90,700. But if we go up from here, I think you head to this 4-hour extension, 99 to 103. The weekly 50 sits there. The 1 hour agrees with that. So it's quite a bit of confluence that that's probably where we're going to go. If we do lose this, the retracement zone sits down here at about 88.5. Then you've got your weekly 50 moving average that's moved up from about $80,000 to about $86,000. If we get down here, I have concerns because it's going to get ugly. So we need to keep up with this. We need to watch. There is a possibility that we come on down and at least retest 87,000. Maybe we do retest 86,000. We've retested this trend or this line several times. So I'm kind of optimistic that we're kind of looking for a bounce here. If we pull up our RSIs, you can see we're way down. The stochastic is oversold. The cipher's printed a buy on the 4-hour. That's usually a pretty bullish indicator. So I think we go up. Looking at the daily, kind of agrees with that. Like I said, you've got one or two options here. Come down, retest the daily 50 at about 90,300. Or we could just go ahead and move up from here. Golden zone sits 109 to 116. That's where we have questions. The weekly 50 sits at 101, 856. I think those are the next big resistances to get over if we're going to think about 139 to 155. I really want to see how we behave right here at the weekly 50. If, like I said, if we lose this and start losing moving averages, then we're in a bear market and I'm going to go short and we're going to ride this thing down to about $50,000. But if we can get over this, make a successful retest and work up, 169 to 116. My next checkpoint is going to be to get over the old bull market trend. If we can't, we're in about 80% of these pennants. I tell you, market makers like to fill out about 80% of these pennants. We fall out of it. If we don't find support down here around these daily 50 moving averages, then I think it's over. But if we can, 139 to 155, I think is where you end up. If you don't, I think you end up at $50,000. It's pretty cut and dry. We're getting closer to some more answers, so we still need to take this day to day, trade to trade, not get ahead of ourselves and figure out exactly what's going to happen here. Doing the best I can. I think we've got a pretty good handle on it right now. It's just where is it going to bounce here? I don't think it's going to go very low. I think we're close. I'm not real worried about it, to be honest. But if it changes, we'll go short. It's not a big deal. We'll make the money. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tap that bell notification and leave us a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and I really enjoy hearing from you people. But I'm going to wrap this one up for tonight. Chris Hare, the World Champion Crypto Cowboy. I really appreciate you guys watching. See you down the road.